All right, guys, if you follow me online, you probably heard me talk about Maridady Motors, Maridady Motorcycle, Maridady Driving Academy. Now I've come to give you the real story. All right, finally we're here. We are at Maridady Motorcycle, a massive building, all solutions under one roof. You're talking about Maridady import to sell, and even investment opportunity that Maridady gives you. And you can invest your money, import a car under your name, and get to sell it, and you get 15% on your investment, 15% per annum on your investment. You don't get such returns anywhere, not even in the best banks in this country. Also, Maridady Motors gives you an opportunity to invest in a circle. We need to revive the savings culture. If you want to purchase a car, Maridady Motors makes it easier for you. For a savings of 50%, you can be able to get import in your car and get to pay the balance as you drive your car. There's also Maridady Driving Academy that gives you an opportunity to train with the best trainers in town. You're going to learn how you drive your car. They sell you the car, then they tell you you're going to manage and drive your car. So very soon as well, they're coming up with Maridady maintenance, where you buy your car, you bring it back for servicing, and then ensure that it's always in the tip-top conditions. As they say, Maridady Motors says, we move your status. So trust them to actually move your status, and you trust the process. Right? Eric.
Jared, hi.
Good to see you, sir. How are you?
Good to see you, man. Welcome to Maridady Motors,
Thank you so much.
where we move your status.
For the longest time, we work for money. We work for money, work for money. You got a point where you say, let the money work for you. We've been telling these guys on social media, on the internet, and also on the media. Talking about also Maridady Driving Academy. We're telling them, we talk about how you can actually import the vehicle at Maridady Motors and get to save money, even up to 300,000 shillings. So we say today, let's come to other things up.
I'm very happy that today you've made the effort to come and see what we actually do on the ground, so that it's more real when you can see and feel and touch. Now you believe that the car is there. I will tell you that some of the vehicles that you're seeing here are vehicles that we have actually imported for people to sell for them. The logbooks are in their names, and that is the beauty of the investment program that we've been talking about. I do know that the Kenyan market has a challenge with trust because of the many bad things that have happened in the past. But one of the things that we are saying at Maridady is that somebody has to make a difference in the market, and somebody has to create a different story. And we want to be that team that creates a different story.
Your slogan is trust the process.
Trust the process.
You know? So
yes.
it's about trusting the process.
Yeah.
They say every car has a story. Does the car have a story?
The Subarus are, one of the things that I can tell you about the Subaru Forester is that it is the one vehicle that is going through a rebrand. It has previously been associated with young people, rowdy and laugh. But right now, if you look at... Yes. But, right now, if you look at what is happening to this particular model, it is becoming a family car. And that is why you will see a lot of serious people now in the market are driving. Yes, yes. Yeah. You see, Gerard, one beautiful thing that has happened to the Subaru Forester is that it has been repositioned in the mind of the market. So it's no longer, that vehicle that used to be for a rowdy young person. Now this is a vehicle for a professional. It's now a cool car. It's for a good family size. I mean, with your 2 kids, you can see you have a lot of leg room. Yeah.
It's a lot of space, and even a lot of boot space.
A lot of boot space, there's a sunroof, a lot of sports functions on it. It comes as a 4-wheel drive, and that gives you the ability to play around with it both on the road and off the road. And this is a mid-sized SUV to watch. Of course, it comes with a very reasonable engine size of 2 liters. That means that you don't have to rob the bank to run this vehicle. And right now, it's going to play between about 2.2 to 2.5 million. It comes either as a turbo or a non-turbo engine, and that gives the buyer a lot of options in terms of making the choices for his vehicle. It's a good vehicle to watch. Yeah.
And you know about the process, just the process of getting to it.
Yeah.
What would you advise a person to start off with? Because I see you have several cars here.
Yeah.
You have even a high-end car that will not ask you to finish it.
Yeah.
But what would you advise someone who is starting off to buy a car?
There are a number of factors that I want the first-time car buyer to consider when they're buying a vehicle. Of course, the first thing is the cost of the vehicle. The cost of the vehicle here is the capital investment you have to put in to acquire the vehicle. But usually I tell buyers that that is important, but given the fact that you have options in terms of financing, it may not really matter because you're going to be able to spread the cost over a long period of time. But the running cost of the vehicle, we talk, is key, is important, because this is the money you have to spend on a day-to-day basis. So here we have to talk about the fuel consumption, we have to talk about service and maintenance, we have to talk about the insurance premium. The money that you must spend on a day-to-day basis for you to enjoy your vehicle as the one who bought it is something that you really have to consider. But thirdly, you must also consider something that I call market support. You don't want to buy a vehicle that has only one mechanic in Kenya. Unasikia mechanic ameadmitiwa hospitali juu ya COVID, unaanza kushtuka kwa sababu hujui nani ataripea gari yako. So you have to ask yourself before you buy a vehicle, where can you service it? Where can you maintain it? Because this is going to be an everyday need for you and the vehicle. So consider those three things first. The cost of the vehicle, the running cost, and the market support for your vehicle in terms of service and maintenance. Yeah.
So I think we're going to transition. We look at another car.
Yeah.
You have a very amazing BMW.
I want you to see the Honda CR-V first. The reason why I want you to have a look at the Honda CR-V is because it would compete very well with the Subaru Forester in terms of size and in terms of performance. But this particular unit is ex-Singapore. And one of the things you find about the vehicles that you get from Singapore is that even though you have to be a bit more careful as you select them, the difference in terms of finishing of the vehicle with what you get from the Japanese market can be absolutely different. Take a look at this.
Right.
But I want you to see the interior.
This is actually amazing.
Yeah. And the standard finish for Singapore vehicles is leather.
Wow.
And it's genuine leather, genuine legit leather. You just need to polish it.
I can feel it.
As long as you buy these vehicles in low genuine mileage and make sure that the condition is good at the point of purchase, this is a vehicle that you can comfortably use for another 5 to 7 years without having to worry about it. Again, most of the mid-sized SUVs from Singapore will come with the sunroof so that you can be able to... Yeah.
This is what I need to get.
This is what you need to get. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The Harrier.
Okay.
Yeah. You remember the predecessor of the Harrier was slightly bigger.
Yeah.
If you look at this one,
It was
yes,
way down.
yes, and it was appealing to an older clientele.
Anti-Harrier.
Yes, and that's probably that's where that slogan came from, anti-Harrier. What they've done with this shape is that they've made it more youthful, more professional. If you look at it, it looks a bit more smaller and manageable. Yeah, and it has a very good appeal again to young families. Yeah, a lot of women love it. Trust you me, if you ask your madam which car she would want you to get for her right now, this could be it. Yeah, it comes as a 2-liter engine, and you have the option of choosing one that is also hybrid. Yeah, it also has a 2.5-liter engine. Comes either as a 4-wheel or as a 2-wheel drive, and it has a lot of colors for you to choose from. It has, the wine red, you can get black, just the many options of colors that ladies are very much interested in. And I think this is another mid-sized SUV for you to watch. So
this is a car you'd actually recommend for ladies?
Oh yeah, I would recommend it for ladies.
For madam?
I would also recommend it as a unisex vehicle. It can cross over between the men and the women. But obviously, one of the things you will find is that a lot of professional women are going to be falling in love with the Toyota Harrier.
people don't have a problem with buying cars, they can import and all that. But the question is, why Maridady?
True.
You know, the issues of import to sell, people would ask, you know, do I trust the process? Do you say trusting the process of importation? How do you ensure that the client is actually very comfortable and sleep well at night after investing 2 million in importing to sell?
So primarily, right now I can tell you with clarity of thought that Maridady Motors is interested in 3 things in the market. Number 1 is that we are interested in helping our customers get the best cars at the best prices. And that means that we are talking about importing quality vehicles without necessarily exaggerating the price. You know, one of the problems that we have with Kenyan businesses, Bitok, is that everybody has a mentality of making a kill. And I like to ask, if everybody is making a kill, who are you killing? You're killing the customer. By killing the customer, you're making the industry not sustainable. And we've seen this in a lot of industries. So one of the things that as we want to do is that we want to make sure that every transaction we do is win-win. So by the time a customer is driving out of our showroom, we want to ask ourselves, did the customer get a good deal? Did they get value for money? And that is where now Bitok you will find that we have this product that we call import to sell. Import to sell is an opportunity for someone that has capital that independently is not enough to do a viable business. Yeah? He has an opportunity to plug into our already existing business that has an already existing market, and it's going to be plug and play for them. It's going to be a turnkey business solution because all they have to do is to plug in their capital and they start reaping the benefits. Bitok, this also is a challenge for our generation. Why? Because we have become a very competitive generation. We are the generation that buys land to subdivide. If you look at our forefathers, they bought farms. Everybody owned a share in that farm. They were doing coffee, they were doing tea, they were doing paridram and all these things, but they were doing them in the concept of cooperatives. And that way, they had the economies of scale to be able to be viable businesses. But right now, we are trying to divide ourselves to the smallest unit possible, individualism. And we end up with businesses that cannot thrive because there is always beauty in synergy and cooperation. I love to say that even if you take the ocean and break it into very small portions, you put the maji unaweka kwa bucket, you actually lose a lot of life from that ocean because there is no single bucket that can be able to carry the weight. Because even in business, you will find that there is the advantage that comes with size. The fact that we are able to bring 100 people who are like-minded, every person brings 1 million shillings. We call the Japanese and say we want to import 100 cars. You will find that even if we get a discount of $1,000 per vehicle, we have actually saved 10 million shillings at procurement alone. But if every person of these 100 people decide to buy the vehicle as an individual, kila mtu anagongwa huko.
Why the inspiration behind the circle and what the customer stands to gain from the circle, unlike getting to invest their money elsewhere.
We have Maridady Motor Circle. This is actually an idea that was pushed by our customers. We've had a lot of customers come in here, they want to get a car loan from a form of financial institution, and you find that in one way or the other, the threshold is so high that many of them are not able to qualify. And what we saw in that problem is an opportunity to start a circle. See, a circle is a platform for peer-to-peer credit. That pesa ile Bitok amesave saa hii juu hahitaji, wacha tukopesha huyu mwingine gari. By the time huyu analipa, Bitok anataka na yeye pia tunamkopesha. And we therefore pioneered a circle, and our circle is doing very, very well. We got registered in 2018. There is no single month that we do not release a vehicle to a member of our circle. And what happens is very simple. You just register, you save for a period of 6 months or more. You are not restricted to a minimum. I mean, you can save even for 1 year or even for 2 years. You save at your own pace, and then you will be able to get double the amount that you have saved in form of a vehicle. I would say that when it comes to that space of the circle, again, the waters have been poisoned before because of other circles that did not do well. But I want to keep telling our generation that we really have to decide where we want to focus our minds. Of course, we need to study what didn't work so that we can ask ourselves, why did it fail? so that we can avoid making the mistakes that other people, have made before us. So we are pushing on. We are promising the market to do the right thing. We are promising the market to be people of integrity and honesty, and to focus and make sure that everything we do as a brand is actually associated to one thing: helping Kenyans own cars that are good and at a good price. Best cars at best prices. Let me tell you the story of how the Maridady Driving Academy was born, and this is going to be a key area of our concentration this year. We sell cars to first-time car buyers, and a lot of first-time car buyers kept telling us, mnaniuzia gari ni sawa, nimemaliza kulipa, but I want you guys to give me a driver to take the car home. And we would ask them, but you said you have a license. And they would tell you, no, niko na license, lakini siwezi drive. Yeah. So the question we asked ourselves is, how comes so many people have licenses in this country, but they are not competitive drivers? They cannot drive, and we saw a gap. So we are bringing a driving academy that has a completely different mindset and that has a completely different paradigm of thought. Our objective is to help people become competent, safe drivers. We teach you how to drive. You learn how to drive. Then we think about the license. Because the thinking out there is get the license, then you start thinking about how to drive. As we want to give you the skill, we are going to invest in the branch network required. We are going to invest in the technology required so that we can be able to train a learner to actually learn how to drive. And one of the things that we are introducing in our curriculum of driving BTOC is something that we are calling a solo drive. That the moment we teach you how to drive, we actually want to give you our car to drive. You take a trip, go to the CBD and come back. We are betting on you. Yeah? We have the instructor who was teaching you sit at the back seat as a passenger to be driven by you. We want him to bet on you and say, I have taught him how to drive, he has learned how to drive, and you know what? I am willing to be his passenger. That is the level of responsibility that we want to inculcate in the people that we are putting in the team to train our learners to learn how to drive. We are very passionate about it. As we speak right now, we are setting up a branch in Nakuru, another one in Thika, we are setting up one in Juja and Mwea, and we'll be setting up another one in Karen. You can buy a driving school vehicle and lease it to us. Yeah? Yeah? You can become an instructor. If you're a driver, a good driver, and you're looking for an opportunity, you can come and talk to us. We are going to guide you on how to get an instructor's license, and you're going to plug into this opportunity. Because BTOC, there is one thing we are saying at Maridady Driving Academy. A driver who is not competent on the road is dangerous to all of us. So we have to put the best foot forward. We are looking at an opportunity to set an example on what excellence can be all about in service delivery in the Kenyan market. This product of lease to own or lease to buy is a product that is actually inspired by the aspiration of many young people to own taxis. And these arrangements are already existing casually in the market, whereby as BTOC, you can buy a taxi, you give it to a young man, okay? Kuja nikupatie gari, unilipange, arafu gari itakuwa yako at the end of the day. So now that is the same concept. That is the DNA of a circle. That is the DNA of a cooperative movement. Because what happens in the cooperative movement is that you save money, and this money of yours is given to somebody else in form of credit. Now, we are altering that a bit to say, don't save money, buy a car. This being a motor circle, we discovered, and it's an idea that was given to one of our members, what if I bring a car to you in kind? And we were like, this is actually ingenious. Bring the car. We will give it to another young person who needs to lease that car. He's going to pay you the value of your car plus some profit. And that is now the money that we divide over the period of the lease, if it is 24 months or if it is 36 months. And this is the money that the person who had invested in the vehicle is paid. I'll give you an example. If, for example, you bring us a vehicle worth £1 million, we are paying you, say, 38,000 shillings per month. And what somebody out there is mistaken is to think that these 38,000 shillings per month is actually fully profit. It's not fully profit. It carries a capital repayment to the person who actually bought this vehicle. Because when you're talking about leasing, you always have two components of the repayment. You have part of it that is return on investment. You have part of it that is return of the investment, of the money that was used to buy this vehicle. So our investors who are giving us the vehicles to lease to our members are actually getting a return of 15% per year, which accumulates to 30% in 2 years. And that becomes win-win because the investor gets an opportunity to make 30% in 2 years, but on the other hand, this member who needed credit is actually able to get this vehicle on credit. Because remember, for most of the members of Wasako, they would not qualify for a formal loan from the bank. If they would, we would actually be happy to take them there. So we are trying to create some kind of an economic incubation to bring this person to a point whereby he actually qualifies, yes, to borrow from the bank.
Maridady Motor Sacco gives you an opportunity to invest your car in the Sacco. Someone else gets to pay you the money that you've used to purchase the car plus a profit. And also the other person gets an opportunity to own the car. So like you're bringing in two needs. Someone who has the money or who has the car and wants the money, and someone who doesn't have the money but wants the car. True. And that's the solution we're bringing in. You've talked about trusting the process and those are things, you know, by the time someone gives you $1 million shillings, they really need to trust your brand.
One of the things that I will tell you we talk is that I understand the concerns that the market has. As a person who is born and brought up in this country, I have been following the news and I have been seeing all the sad stories that have been happening with other institutions. And I would say that as somebody also who has lost money to people out of their dishonesty and that kind of a thing, I know the pain. I know it feels very, very bad. So one of the things that I would say is that we've done this business for more than 10 years. And one of the things that I can tell you comfortably, and I can tell you you can play this video anywhere, is that we have protected our integrity. We have made sure that no single Kenyan has ever lost even a shilling while doing business with us. And this is the spirit that we want to keep. We want to keep making sure that we deliver on our promises. Our main concept as a business and at Maridady Motors is social-economic transformation, is sustainability. We are not interested in making a kill. We want to be there for 100 years. We want to go for the marathon and not the sprint. And that is why I normally say and I tell people that I am always there as the leader of the team. I am always ready to take responsibility. And if you're asking if something goes wrong, who will take the blame? I want to look at you in the eyes and tell you that I will take the blame. Why? Because I am going to make sure that every decision that we make as a company is made with that principle of win for all in mind.
It has been an amazing story that we're having here. And if you have any questions, by the way, you can always direct it to us. I also stand in because I've seen what is happening here. I can stand in as a brand ambassador of Maridady Motors and tell you that it's a brand that you can trust for its credibility and you can trust the process, as they say. They'll move your status and they'll ensure that every coin that you put into this company, every coin that you put into your asset, make sure that you earn it back or you get your car. If you're getting a car, you get a car. Not a tortoise. Kama ni gari, utapata gari. Best car, best prices, best taste. It has been a great time with you. And I hope you guys are going to make a purchase. The next time you think about buying a car, only buy a Maridady Motors. Thank you, sir.